Our speakers are, I want to say this right, Yaiza Rubio and Félix Brezo. Right. All right. Yaiza. Yeah, Yaiza is an intelligence analyst with a background in information sciences, defense industry, and cybersecurity. Félix is a computer engineer with a PhD in computer science and telecommunications. They're well known as trainers of several law enforcement agencies in Europe and regarding OSINT and also cryptocurrency research. Let's give them our attention. Their theme is heavy diving for credentials towards the perfect phishing.
So thank you for the presentation. For us, it's like great being here in Vegas, just trying to show you one of the latest research that we have performed in 11 Paths regarding phishing techniques and phishing methodologies, just to try to make a phishing attack more anonymous and just to try to protect the identity of the phisher in this case of the attacker. So we know that it is the last talk of the day, and we know that it's going to be just about 30 minutes, so it's going to be great, and we are trying to make some exercises with you with some bonus tracks.
Now we ask for your collaboration because we have prepared some exercise for you, and there is a prize of $25 for the winner in Bitcoins. In Bitcoins.
So maybe if you're lucky and the Bitcoin price rise in this moment, it's not $25, but maybe $30 or $35. I think that it's increasing since yesterday quite a lot.
First of all, we need to know which infrastructure will need a phisher.
So the typical phishing attack is always compounded by an infrastructure which has been rented, hacked, or somewhat hired by the attacker. The attacker will clone the website just to try to imitate the real website. Okay. The phishers usually try to register a domain that is similar to the original one, just as a trick to try to trick again the victim. These links are also being shared using social media platforms and emails. From the point of view of the victim, well, the victim will get connected to that fake website, and well, the phisher will get the credential, and then the phisher will be able to get connected to the legit domain.
The registration of the domains is a key point for the researchers, because the registrant will have the information about who has paid, and depending on the spreading method used, his identity, the attacker, could be exposed when he signs up in several platforms.
So from the point of view of the attacker, there are some problems that he has to face. First of all, the infrastructure that he's been using, it can say a lot of things of who he is, and this is something that he has to protect. He has to hide any kind of footprints that in this process there may be. So this is an important issue that we are going to face in this short talk.
Now we have another problem related to creative and credible. Each attacker will need to be as creative and credible as possible.
So the point is that when spreading the malicious links, and well, you will have to find well-known platforms that will maximize the number of victims that you want to get. If it is a massive phishing attack, or if it is a spear phishing attack, you want to make it as realistic as possible. So these issues are the ones that we are going to try to solve for a phisher in the following minutes.
The attacker's identity will need to be anonymous, and thus we are going to run a hidden services in Tor. We are going to show you an example, but it's very easy.
In fact, it's really easy. Have any of you deployed a hidden service once? It's really easy once you have a tor installed.
First of all, we have to tor install, and then we have to deploy Tor as a service.
Yeah, the next thing that we will need to do is just to verify that we are connected through Tor, so we can get our public IP address without being connected through Tor, and we can tor-ify then the connection. We are running just the same command, but with tor-ify command before, just to enroute to send this connection through the Tor network. Really easy, 2 commands to do it.
Then we have to modify several lines, and we have to uncomment 2 lines in tor-rc file. Specifically, we have to uncomment these lines, hidden service dir and hidden service port.
2 lines, 2 commands, so it's really easy.
And then we have to restart Tor as a service again.
Yeah, because if not, the new configuration wouldn't have been loaded. So this is not a problem. What we are doing right now is starting an Apache 2 server, which is the one that is being mapped in port 80, as we have seen in the configuration file. So it's quite straightforward right now.
Then if we want to know which hidden services we have to go to a hidden service path, and here we can find two files, and the file of this file hostname, we can find this our .onion.
So if we want to launch a petition to .onion domain, if we did it with cur and the onion domain, we will not be able to resolve that. But if we do it with tor-ify, like in the example, we will be able to grab and to collect all the information from that hidden service.
But we have this approach. We have a problem because most users are normal users and that do not use Tor.
Yeah, so this is a point because although Tor users have increased quite a lot, there are several studies that say that even in the countries with more penetration, like Moldova and Iceland, Tor users only represent the 300 users per 100,000 online common internet users. So the figure is unfortunately quite slow. So we will have to find something different to try to make these hidden services be available for a wider number of users. Okay.
To solve this problem, we are going to use Tor gateways. When we spread the malicious links through social network, we can use a gateway to redirect the victims to our hidden service.
The point is that we are very lazy sometimes, and if we don't want to have Tor installed in our system to access to a hidden service, we can use .onion.2, .onion.link, .onion.plus, which are Tor gateways that will let you access these domains even if you don't have Tor browser bundle installed or a Tor connection configured in your system. The point is that we found out when we were doing this research that some Tor gateways were providing additional information that we were not expecting, and we are using it for fun and for profit, maybe.
Now we are going to use which information is exposed by the gateways.
Okay. We are going to see it in an example that we have released. The source code we have released it in GitHub, so you will be able to see to download it and perform your own tests. Okay, so maximize.
First of all, we are going to download the hidden service that we have prepared for this demo, and it's created with Tor and with Python and Stem. Stem is a library to interact with Tor from Python.
What we are doing right now is deploying a very simple hidden service that the only things that do is just showing the headers that each and every request to this hidden service is being sending. Why? We are going to see it why. So it's very easy. you git clone and you install the requirements, and then you press Python and start the application. It's really easy to do.
Then we are going to see which is the IP address of the victim. Is this, and then we are going to tor-ify the connection and with the aim to see the headers of this.
So stop there. So and you can see there that the headers sent by a simple curl are almost five or four headers. So almost no information regarding the user that got connected to this domain using tor-ified curl. Okay. But what happens when we do this using okay? When we do this using onion.link platform? Well, we can find something really interesting because amongst the headers, one of the headers that was being sent is x-real IP. So onion.link was sending to the hidden service the real IP address of the guy that wanted to get connected to it. So you can think about how this information can be used. If there is a user that is getting connected to, for instance, a pornographic website, the administrator of the pornographic website will know which is the real IP address of the guy. Tor was not intended to be used in that way, but if you use a Tor gateway, maybe your information can be exposed. So please avoid using them and download and install the Tor browser bundle or configure your own Tor connection, because you don't know what kind of information can be sent. Okay.
This first problem we have addressed it, but we
because we have a hidden service. We have a server that is exposed as a hidden service,
now we have,
and with a Tor gateway for the surface users.
Yes, now we have deploy an anonymous phishing, but now we have another problems. Now we have another problem related to creative and credible of the attacks.
So the problem is that onion links are too long. So it's very easy to see if you are being directed to an onion website. Well, there are some tricks that we are going to use just to try to make the deception better. Okay. First of all, we ask you to go to Kahoot. Does anyone know Kahoot.it? Kahoot.it is a platform that we are going to use to give you $25. So we are going we encourage you to go to Kahoot.it, and the only thing that you will need is to insert the code that Yaiza is going to show you, because here we will ask you some questions regarding these facts.
If you want to win the bitcoins, you will have to go to this
platform. Okay.
Yes.
So
Kahoot.it.
Okay. Go to my Kahoot. Wait there, because we will need to show you the play. Okay. So you will need to insert the following pin code that is going to be shown in the screen. And we are going to put you, I think that they are very easy challenges, but well, just the fastest one will be awarded with a $25 prize. Okay, so hold on a second, we are deploying it. If you are in Kahoot.it, it is requested for a pin, insert the one that is there.
We have here the pin.
45
Kahoot.it.
Kahoot.it.
And we have to introduce 4587.
So very simple pin, 4587. Okay, and insert a nickname, whatever you want. The point is that it will be shown in the screen. So please do not use any kind of things strange. Okay, so wait.
Okay.
We have 3 users.
Now we are going to do a test. Have we understood the game? Okay, if you have understood the game, press yes, and we don't have to understand the game, press no.
Okay. 4 answers till the moment. Any more answers? Okay, just for 6, 6, okay. Time's running up. Well, 6 answers. So most people, we have no trolls here, most people have understood the game. Okay, so we are going to put some challenges here. You have to pay attention to what we are going to see here, because the skills that we are going to show are the ones that a phisher, that we are going to implement in the phishing attacks that we are using later technically, okay?
The next challenge is related to attention. In which quadrant is located the only W in this image?
Okay, upper left.
Upper left, upper right, lower left, lower right. Where is the only W in this image?
It's difficult, right? It's really difficult. You know why it's difficult? It's difficult because letters are very similar. So this is a technique that most phishers tend to use when cyber squatting, when performing cyber squatting attacks, just trying to emulate the original domains of common trademarks. Some people change the M for an R and an N. So it looks like the same in most browsers. So this is something that we may be using, would be useful for us to ship an appropriate phishing.
Please don't close the app.
Don't close the app. Don't close the app. We are coming back in a couple of minutes. Okay.
Okay. These type of practice exercises are needed when conducting a phishing attack, but we have to improve the image of a .onion domain because it's so
long and so
long and yes.
We have two approaches here. Two approaches. The typical approach is using a vanity domain. Do you know vanity Bitcoin addresses that tend to use? Well, users tend to create a Bitcoin address that starts with a given word. We can do the same with onion domains. We can use tools like Shallot that are available in GitHub, and just saying to Shallot, okay, I want my domain to start with tweet or Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And we can let the tool try to generate as many domains as many onion domains as he can, until he finds a domain that matches with this approach. So this is one, generating vanity domains. Okay, it may take a lot of time. In fact, we tried to do it with Twitter, which is 6 letters, and we were waiting for 8 hours, and we couldn't generate it in our computer. So it's a difficult task.
However, there is also another trick to simple works using a cool subdomains before the blah 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 .onion. Now we are going to see one example with DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo is a search engine that many of you know. DuckDuckGo. DuckDuckGo, the point is that it also has a hidden service, a .onion version of the browser that can be reached only using Tor.
Okay, we can see
this very long domain.
This is the domain of DuckDuckGo.
And we are going to do a very simple trick that many people don't know about onion domains, but that can be useful for us when we want to conduct a phishing attack, okay?
We only have to put before, for example, twitter.com.blah-blah-blah.onion, or another example, for example, facebook.com.has.blah-blah-blah.onion.
And you may be asking, this is happening only in DuckDuckGo? No, because the point is that for discovering where a hidden service is inside the Tor network, the only part important is the domain, not the subdomain. Okay, so we can put whatever we want in the subdomain part. So in our cases, we would like to put some things that look like the original website, just to treat the user. So, for instance, if we want to emulate a Twitter domain, we can put twitter.com.blah-blah-blah.onion. Okay? So, this is a very simple trick that simply works, and it is something that happens because of how Tor is structured and how Tor was conceived. So, two approaches: vanity domains and this small trick with subdomains.
This problem we have addressed it, but we have another problem related to spreading the attacks.
So we're going back to the Kahoot, just the ones that have taken part till now. Go back to Kahoot. Okay, we can see that JMax is in the lead with 826 points, and we're going to put 2 more challenges regarding misdirecting the attention of the victim, as usual, misdirecting, and the other one is regarding movement. So it is just a matter of answering the question that is appearing at the end of the video that you are going to see right now. Okay? Have anybody of you been in London before? Have anybody of you been in London? I have been in London, but only once. Okay, I'm sorry. I was just tricking you, just trying to misdirect attention, because the question that we are putting there is what time was in the Big Ben Tower that was shown in the photo. Okay, so the trick is just a matter of misdirecting the attention, as we are going to do in the phishing.
The answers
are 6
p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. or 9 p.m.
If you have noticed, if you have remembered which was the hour in the clock, well, you should guess which is the correct answer, which was 8 p.m. Okay, sorry for the trick. Okay, but well, misdirecting attention is a very important issue when you want to conduct also a phishing attack, and we are going to go through a technique that works very well with this. The third challenge is the movement challenge, because the human mind and the human eye works in a way that makes slow changes be almost or be very difficult to be noticed by the eye.
The question is, how many elements are slowly changing in the photo?
They are going to start changing right now. Keep an eye on the photo. Keep an eye on the photo. Okay. Keep an eye on the photo and try to find the elements that are being changing. Okay. Keep an eye. Have you seen them? Have you seen any of them? Have you seen any changes in the photo? No. No changes in the photo. Well, at least
from 0 to 3.
Okay. Okay, there have been some changes. The plane has been removed. The factory was removed. The colors of the houses were removed. Were changed. There were some windows that were changing too. The point is that the changes were taking place slowly. So they were taking place slowly, and it was really difficult for us to see the difference. If something happens very quickly, it's very easy to notice. So these two. By the way, JMax, which is JMax? Okay, JMax, congratulations. We will. You have been awarded with $25, about $25 in Bitcoin. Lately, we will pay for them at the end of the talk. But the point is that these two ideas, movement and misdirection, are really important for conducting an appropriate phishing. And there is a technique that can help us, like reverse tab nabbing.
But what is reverse tab nabbing? Consists on modifying the content of the browser tab that stays in the background. Thus, when the user goes back to the tab, he will be in another website controlled by the attacker.
So the idea can be implemented really easily with just, and it's true, a couple of lines of JavaScript code. You can copy that JavaScript code. We have some POCs that we are going to see in a few seconds, and it's really easy. What we are doing here is just exploiting the way in which new links are being opened in new tabs. Some websites like Google Plus are not properly configured to prevent a newly opened tab to modify the original tab in which it was clicked. We are going to see it with an example better.
Now we are going to see how it works in Google+. First of all, we have publish.
In our own website, a POC.
This POC, this URL, when the user presses on it, he will redirect to defcon.org, for example, but the previous tab have having changed.
So this is an issue because any link that is opened into a new tab in Google+, this does not work, for example, in Twitter because they are protected, in Instagram because they are protected, in the Facebook original website it doesn't work either, but it works in the mobile version of Facebook. It works in the Outlook Light Web App version. It works in Mail.ru Light application. And it used to work even in LinkedIn until, well, we reported all these small bugs to them. LinkedIn thought that it was not a security issue. The point is that many other platforms have already modified it, and they answered us that, okay, this is something that cannot be prevented. In 2 weeks' time, they modified it, and they say nothing to us, so please say hello or something.
Now we are going to put all the pieces together with the problem we have seen before. Now we are going to see the POC.
The final POC with all of these parts.
The parts of the demo are 3. First of all, we have to create a malicious website with a malicious link in a hidden service.
So if we have a hidden service, it's okay, but we would only be targeting Tor users. No, but we don't want that. We want common users, normal users, to be vulnerable to this issue. So what can we do? We have seen it using a Tor gateway like onion.link, onion.to, onion.plus, or whatever, and we are sending or we are sharing the URL into a common platform, like in this case it is Google+.
The publication in Google+ will have to be relevant for the user with the aim to spend some time there, and then he will redirect to
while he reads all the news and all the article. What happens in the background?
In this case, he will redirect to Telegraph, and the previous tab will have been changed with the phishing domain.
With a phishing that will be hosted in a hidden service using onion.link, onion.whatever. So we are going to see it, and we are going to analyze the consequences of this approach. Okay, so in the example we have a URL we are sharing a URL with something that we find that can be clicked by lots of people. So while the user clicks on it, the Telegraph article is there. The user is reading that, and what has happened before in the previous tab, in the tab in which it was the Google Plus publication, okay, it has been changed onto a hidden service. So from our point of view, it's really good because we have deployed a hidden service. We have deployed a phishing website into a hidden service. And when the researcher wants to, okay, who is behind that? Who is behind this attack? I want to close down that phishing website. He can't because he doesn't know where the hidden service is located. Why? Because it is in Tor. Okay, so it's a nice approach, just combining different techniques and reverse tab nabbing and Tor gateways and Tor, and this is really nice because phishers will be somewhat protected. But it's true. We have to recognize that this has some limitations. Still, the onion links are too long, so we have to fight with that.
Tor gateways are sometimes too slow and unstable and may become a too clear indicator of the attack.
Yeah, so these websites are not always as fast as we expected. If you are used to Tor connections are sometimes slow. So we have to find an article in which the user will spend at least some seconds until the website, the fake website is being loaded. And what else? And the other one, okay, we have published the link into a social network with our own user. So this is still a problem because I will need to find a social network and a social profile that has to be created anonymously so as to be perfectly anonymous. So this is still an issue that has to be dealt.
Although there are a lot of Tor gateways like onion.plus or onion.link or onion.to, the best gateways to do this attack, in our opinion, are onion.plus or onion.link, because permits .onion subdomains and leak personal information about the victim.
Yeah, because onion.to, onion.guide, and so on, when you use the subdomain trick, they raise an SSL error and so on, so they are not as good as the other ones. But meanwhile, onion.link and onion.plus are good approaches to perform this phishing. So it's everything for our side. I think that all of us want to go out tonight, and it's so late. We are hungry, even for Spanish guys who tend to have dinner too late. So we are waiting for your questions and comments, and anyway, you can contact us later. Thank you so much for attending, okay?